Here's 3 things you need to know before you make an offer on a home in Denver Metro's competitive market. Number 1, you can limit your home inspection. You can limit your property inspection to basically state to the seller that you're only going to be asking for major health and safety items and that you're not going to nitpick them on like, hey, this light bulb's out, can you please change it? Or you can also limit it to a certain dollar amount. Example is you basically state that you won't be asking for anything under $500 when it comes time for you to object on the inspection. And that is, again, reiterating to the seller that you're not going to be nickel and diming them on a bunch of little things, and instead you're only going to be focusing on major health and safety items like the sewer, the roof, electrical, plumbing, etc. Item number 2 is that you can offer appraisal gap coverage. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Look, appraisal gap coverage is additional income I have to bring to the table in the event the home doesn't appraise. I'm already putting 20% down. How could I have additional funds, $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 to bring to the table? Like, are you crazy? Just hold on a minute. If you haven't talked to your lender about this yet, you should. If you're putting a reasonable amount down, you can actually move some of those funds over from down payment to offer appraisal gap coverage. Let's say you're offering on a home that's $500,000, listed at $500,000, and you're offering $550,000 and you're putting 20% down. You can actually take some of the funds from the 20% down and move them over to be offered as appraisal gap coverage. So in the contract you can write, look, I'm willing to bring in $10,000 in appraisal gap coverage. And in your mind, you can know if it happens where the appraisal comes in low and I have to bring in that $10,000, you can take that $10,000 from your down payment, move it over to the appraisal gap coverage and what you're bringing to the table. So you're putting a little less down. Of course, you have to make sure this works for you numbers-wise in terms of your monthly mortgage payment. Or if you just have the additional funds, you offer that appraisal gap coverage. It makes you stand out in comparison to the offers you're competing with. Item number 3, you want to make sure that closing and those deadlines are as tight as possible. I'm writing contracts at like 2.5 weeks right now for on a loan to compete with cash or higher loan offers or whatever it might be. So make sure your realtor is partnered with a good lender, or that you have a good lender, so that you know that you can meet those closing timelines and hit the deadlines on time without having to implement a bunch of amend extends or anything like that. Taking you guys along with me and letting you know what I'm doing for some of my buyers right now in the Denver metro area who are competing for housing. Of course, we're doing a multitude of other things as well. If you guys are interested in hearing more, let me know.